Hello BookTube, I'm Jonathan and welcome to Words in Time. Now in today's video I'm going to be talking a bit about books, a bit about sci-fi, and share a bit about myself in the 25 questions book tag. Now I believe this was started by Mazza BookTuber and I was tagged by Ian the Reader. So I'm going to leave links to their channels in the description. Ian is super funny and he reads fantasy, sci-fi, and a whole bunch of other stuff, so check him out. I think you'll love his channel. So let's get into it with question number one. Number one, what's your channel about? Well, Words in Time is about sci-fi books. I currently post 2 videos a week. One is a book review and the other is a miscellaneous video such as a top 10 ranking, a tier list, or a book tag. Question 2, how old are you? I am 32 and I have this theory that people tend to guess other people's ages closer to their own. So let me know if you're younger than me, let me know if you guessed younger than 32, and if you're older than me, let me know if you guessed older than 32, and we'll see if my theory holds up. Question 3, what's your relationship status? Thirsty much? I am married to my amazingly talented wife. I am married to my amazingly talented wife, Bonnie, and she likes to read a bit. She's not so much into sci-fi, but I have some ideas about how to get her on the channel, so I think you'll get to meet her at some point. Question 4, did you go to college / what is your occupation? So I got my bachelor's in screen production and master's in screenwriting. That was a few years ago now, and I am now actually back at school part-time getting my master's in business administration as I work in production as a producer on a television series. Question 5, where are you from / where do you live? So I was actually born in England, and when I was 6 I moved to Australia. I lived there until I was 24 and then I moved to the US. So if you ever watched any of my videos and been trying to pinpoint where exactly my accent is from, now you know, but short answer, I'm Aussie as mate. Question 6, looking back, what would you have told your 10-year-old self? I would say, don't place too much value on the silly things that kids care about, like who did the best on the exam or who's the best player on the cricket team. All that really matters is who's a good person, so pick your friends accordingly, because if you've got a good group of friends, that'll take you a long way. Question 7, tell us about your family. So my immediate family is rather small, just my mum, my dad, my sister, they all live in Australia and they are awesome. We also have an uncle and some cousins that live in Scotland, and my wife's family, mostly around North and South Carolina, and they're a bunch of big personalities, introduced me to some good southern food, so I'm rather fortunate in that regard. Question 8, what's your favorite holiday? I'm gonna have to go with the Queen's birthday. That's a public holiday in Australia, it's part of the Commonwealth, and it's the second Monday in June, and my birthday is in June, and every few years the stars would align and I would have a public holiday for my birthday, which as a kid is the best thing ever. So thanks Elizabeth II. Of course that's not my real favorite holiday, but I feel like that was a better answer than Christmas. Question 9, you have no budget, which I think means unlimited. What is your dream vacation? So I enjoy traveling. There are a lot of places that I would like to be able to go. If I had to pick one, perhaps South America. I'd like to go to Brazil. I've been training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for over 10 years, so that would be pretty cool. Go to Argentina, Chile, see Patagonia, see the mountains. Go to Peru, see the ruins and things there. So there'd be a lot to do, and if I have an unlimited budget, I'm gonna bring some friends and family with me. My friend John speaks some Portuguese. My wife Bonnie speaks a bit of Spanish, so they can help get me around too. I think that would be a pretty amazing trip. Question 10, name your biggest pet peeve. No substitutions at restaurants. I went to this trendy place in LA and tried to order a burger with blue cheese on it, but just without the blue cheese. The waiter said, sorry, no substitutions. I thought, well, I'm not really substituting anything. You can make it as you normally make it, just leave off the blue cheese. The waiter said, we can't alter the chef's vision. I thought, well, if the chef's gonna be so sensitive, don't pick such a polarizing cheese. I mean, I know some people love it, but probably 50% of the people that come into the restaurant don't want blue cheese on their burger, and you're just not gonna serve us? Yes was the answer to that question. They didn't want to serve a barbarian like me anyway, so There you go. No substitutions at restaurants. Question 11. What book changed your life? I'm going to go with Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut. It was the first book that I read by Vonnegut, and after that, I wanted to read everything he wrote. It sparked a love in me for sci-fi, and I think also had a big impact on me as a person. If you're looking for where to start with Kurt Vonnegut, I do have a top 5 Kurt Vonnegut books video, and if you're wondering why it changed me as a person, I also have a top 10 Kurt Vonnegut quotes video. You can see why I like him, not just as a sci-fi author, but why he's had a huge impact on me, and yeah, hopefully he touches you, hopefully he impacts you the way he did to me. Question 13, what are your favorite movies and TV shows? So, a couple of my favorite sci-fi films that I was able to think of the top of my head are Blade Runner 2049, Arrival, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and The Thing. And my favorite non-sci-fi movie is probably The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, which is a very long title and a very long film, but absolutely spectacular. And in terms of TV shows, I actually haven't watched that many sci-fi TV shows. I feel like only in recent years have studios really given them the budget to look as good as I feel like sci-fi stories need to be. But I did enjoy Battlestar Galactica, and I want to start watching The Expanse after I finish the books. And so my favorite non-sci-fi TV shows would be The Wire and Arrested Development. First 3 seasons of perfection. When they brought season 4 back, it was okay, and then didn't really love season 5. So yes, we'll just say first 3 seasons of Arrested Development. Question 14, describe yourself using 3 fictional characters. I'm gonna go with Bill from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, because be excellent to each other and party on, dudes, is a pretty awesome slogan to live your life by. Secondly, I'm gonna go with Ender Wiggin. I wasn't a kid genius, but what kid doesn't wish they were a kid genius? And for the third one, it's not fictional, but it's kind of fictionalized. Sometimes people tell me I look like Larry David, which I don't know if that's a compliment. Like, why not a handsome Australian like one of the Hemsworths? Like, I'll take Gale from Hunger Games, please. One of those two, I guess. Question 15, what was your dream job? Now, I like how this is phrased, was your dream job, past tense, as in, before you failed at life and gave up, what was the dream you gave up on? But anyway, for me as a kid, it was playing in the NBA. I loved basketball when I was about 8 to 14, and I was pretty good, but not good enough, obviously, and I'm about 6 foot tall, which is not short, but that's NBA short, so gave up on the dream, guys. Question 16, if magic was real, what spell would you learn first? This is a trick question. Don't be tricked into answering this question. I'll explain why. I was in a group of friends and someone asked, if you had a superpower, what superpower would it be? And it's different but similar. And so I said, I'd like to fly. I think that would be pretty fun. You could do a lot of cool things if you could fly. And then the next lady said, heal people. I was like, heal people? Way to make me look like a jerk. You're down there curing sick children. I'm just hanging out with birds. Way to make me look like... No, don't... Heal people. The answer to this question is heal people, and don't let anybody trick you into saying something else. Question 17. Share a favorite childhood memory. So, when I was young, living in England, I was lucky enough to have my grandma living with us in our home. And I love my grandma, and whenever I did something naughty or got into trouble or didn't want mum or dad to find out about it, I would run upstairs to grandma's room and she would say, do you want to eat some cherries? Do you want to watch some TV? And I was like, yeah. And I would hang out with grandma and eat cherries and watch TV until mum or dad found out whatever I'd broken downstairs and come up and get me. So, thanks, grandma. Question 18. What is your favorite social media platform and why? Well, if I could say YouTube, I would definitely say YouTube, but if I have to pick something else, and if this counts as social media, I'll go with Reddit. Online, you're going to come across a lot of good content, some not so good content, but if I'm on a subreddit for something that I'm enjoying, like sports or video games or reading, I feel like the upvote, downvote system kind of helps filter out, not all, but some of the less desirable content and helps bring up some of the good stuff to the top. So Yeah, not too much, but I like spending a little bit of time on Reddit. Question 19. If you could pick any book character, who would you spend the day with? Well, I'm going to go with Hesperus from Alistair Reynolds' book House of Suns. And that is because he is a machine person from millions of years in the future. So I think it would be pretty cool to talk to a sentient, artificially intelligent being from millions of years in the future. I don't know what we would talk about, but I have to imagine it would be unlike almost any other character that I can think of. I think it would be pretty cool. Question 20. What's your spirit animal? Turtles. I love turtles. I think turtles are awesome. They're so chill. The way they move through the water, it's just relaxing. It's kind of like a bird, but without any anxiety. I don't know if such a thing exists, but if any animal has reached nirvana, it's probably turtles. Question 21. What old person thing do you do? I'm gonna go with have a Facebook account. I feel like most people under the age of the 30 don't use Facebook as much anymore and mostly on Instagram and TikTok. Facebook's pretty much just for boomers, I think. I still go on Facebook and use Messenger mostly to keep in touch with my friends back in Australia, but I don't know. I feel like if you ask a young person, and using the phrase young person is definitely an old person thing to do. I definitely think that they would say that Facebook is for old people. So I don't know. Keep me up to date. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Question 22. Do you have a hidden talent? Remembering the streaming services that each show is on. I don't know about you. I don't know if you have friends and family members that seem to think every show is on Netflix, but I know they have a lot of shows, but they don't have everything. But whenever anybody mentions a show, they want to watch something, I'll remember Hulu, Showtime, HBO Max, Prime Video, you name the show, I'll find you the right app. Question 23, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So I think we'll probably still be living in Los Angeles. Hopefully I've worked my way up a little bit in the entertainment industry, and hopefully I'm still doing YouTube. I'm enjoying it a lot, and if you guys are enjoying the content, I really appreciate you being part of this little sci-fi community that we're growing. And I don't know, maybe have kids. At the moment, we're very happy with our mini poodle, Charlie. She's a good doggy, so maybe she'll need some more friends at some point. Question 24, share an item and tell us the significance. So I'm actually traveling at the moment, so I don't have a lot of my items, but I'm actually in Australia visiting friends and family, but primarily for my sister's wedding. So yesterday I decided I need some new shoes to wear with my suit for the wedding. So I got these brown shoes. They weren't particularly expensive, but I think they're pretty nice. So I don't know, maybe let me know in the comments whether you think I did a good job with my shoe selection. And lastly, at 25, we have tag some people. I'm gonna go with Jimmy from the Fantasy Network and Jolien Reads. I'm gonna leave the links to their channels in the description. Both of them are awesome people, focusing a little bit more on fantasy, but also talk about sci-fi. I think you're gonna like them a lot, so check them out if you're not subscribed already. So there you go, guys. That was a fun tag to do. I talked about some topics that might not normally come up on the channel, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, because even though we didn't talk about a lot of sci-fi today, there's always more sci-fi content coming soon.